Right. Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. How many of you completed patching using command prompt, guys? How many of you completed patching using command prompt?
I completed, sir.
Okay. And anyone tried patching using command prompt? Anyone tried, guys, patching using command prompt? Any challenges you faced? Is it successful, Rama? Rama,
No, sir.
It was not successful. Okay. So what is the error you got? And any idea how to patch using a command prompt, guys? How to patch using command prompt? No one tried at least how to patch.
I tried, sir.
Okay.
But it's in Windows it is showing, but in server it is not showing, sir. Softwares.
So it is not showing the softwares. Okay. Fine. Okay, guys. Okay. So in case of any issues, any doubts, you can refer my old videos how to patch using command prompt. Okay. So in our YouTube channel, we have uploaded the video how to patch the SQL server using command prompt and all. Just 1 minute, please. Just a minute. At least how many of you checked our notes how to patch SQL server using command prompt? Notes in our notes. Okay, I just provided you one notes, right, including SQL softwares. I just provided you one notes. Okay, in that notes it was already there. What is the query to patch SQL server with the command and all. Okay, so let me show you that as well. Let me decrease the font. Okay, Yatish. Yes, okay, so this is the command, guys. This is the command servicepack.exe. You have to open command prompt in run as admin mode. Open command prompt in run as admin mode in the server, not in your local laptop. Whatever you are doing, you have to do it on the server itself. Okay. You have to open the command prompt with run as admin mode, and then to which location your service pack is copied, go to that particular location. Okay, to which location your service pack is copied, go to that particular location, right? And then you have to type these commands. Don't type this. Okay, this is your service pack. You have to call the service pack and /qs, quite simple. QS means quite simple. There are two parameters, /q, /qs. /q means quite, /qs means quite simple. If you use /q, you cannot see the progress. It will be done in the background. If you use /qs, you can see the progress. How much is completed, you can see the progress. Action is equal to what you are doing, patch. If you mention all instances, also no issues. Even though one instance is there, it will patch the one instance. Even though multiple instances are there, it will patch multiple instances. Instead of patching, instead of giving instance name, okay, it is better to give /all instances. If one instance is there, it will patch one. If multiple instances are there, it will patch all the instances. Of course, I accept the SQL Server license terms. Okay, only 4 parameters. /qs, action is equal to patch, /all instances. I accept the SQL Server license terms. So only these 4 parameters you have to write in the command prompt. Of course, you have to mention the that particular service pack. Say, for example, I'll show you the basic query. Okay, at least you can try for tomorrow. It's not very difficult, guys. Very easy. Go to the server, open your command prompt. Okay, right click, run as admin mode. Okay, so here, where is my service pack? Let me go to my service pack first. Where is my service pack? Service pack. To which location we have copied? Let me check whether it was there in the downloads. Actually, yes, it was there in the downloads, right? Let me Control C. Let me copy to any folder. Okay, let me create one folder, SQL SPs in the C drive, and paste it here. Right, for easily we can go to this location, right? So you can open this location in the command prompt directly. Right. So this is run as administrator, right? So what we can do, in which location I copied my service pack? This location, right?
Yes, sir. Same location.
Yeah. Okay. Here we will get an option, open in command prompt this path. Paste. Okay, no issues. Okay. So in this location, C SQL SPs, right? Go to that location in the command prompt. Okay. CD ... will go to the back folder. Okay. C users. Again, use CD ... You will go to C prompt. Means you just enter inside the C drive using command prompt. Next, CD space. Okay. In which folder? In C drive, in which folder, guys?
SQL SPs, sir.
SQL SPs, right? Just type yes. Use your tab button. Tab. Okay. No need to type the whole folder name. Use the tab button. You can see all the words that are starts with yes. You will get it. We have only one word that will starts with yes. So that's why immediately you got the result. Enter. Now you entered inside this folder. Now, what is the service pack name? SQL, right? Just type yes again and hit tab. You will get the complete name. Okay. Now /qs space /action is equal to patch. Okay. Space /all instances. Okay. Space /I accept license terms. ACCEPT LICENSE license. I accept SQL Server license terms. I accept SQL Server. Don't give any spaces. SQL Server license terms. That's it, guys. If you hit enter, the patch, okay, window, setup window will open. No need to choose any option. It will directly go to the final screen. Once you hit enter, okay, you will get that window. Yesterday we got the patch window, right? You will select next, and patch. Now also we'll get the same window, but we don't select anything. Automatically, it will only select by itself. We already gave all the inputs. So it will directly go to the final screen, guys. In case if anyone not tried, this is the way to try. Okay, so go use this method and you can patch it. And can anyone tell me the command for remove the patch?
Uninstall, sir, in the place of
Run is equals to remove.
Actually, yesterday, what we just checked while removing patch in the last screen, you can see one option, action is equal to
Actually, and
Remove.
Action is equal to
Remove,
remove patch. Okay. If you remember, in the last screen, we saw this one, remove patch. Okay. So remove patch. That's it, guys. If you want to remove from all instances, make sure all instances is selected. If you want to remove from a specific instance, instead of all instances, you have to mention like this, / instance name is equal to name of the instance from which instance you want to remove. That's it. Very easy, very simple command. Only 4 parameters. Okay. So is it clear now? Are you going to try for tomorrow?
Sir, what about the shared features in command prompt, sir?
Sir, everything will be covered. Okay. In case you want to remove from specific instance, use this parameter. / instance name of the instance. If you use / all instances, automatically it will remove from shared features also. Okay. Try it and let me know. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Any doubts? No questions?
Sir, whenever you want to install from for next time for others instance, so that time you need to give the instance name again for second instance.
No, install.
Like
what you want to do? Installation or patch?
No, patching through command prompt.
That's it. You have to give the second instance name.
Okay.
So you want to patch the second instance, you have to give the second. For that, you have, if you want to give the instance name, give the parameter like this. Okay, if you want to patch all instances, even though one instance is there, no need to give the instance name. Simply, if you use this all instances, it will be patched all instances. Or no, sir, all instances are already patched. I want to give specific instance name. Just replace all instances with this instance name parameter, name of the instance. Okay, right? So yes, guys. Fastest fingers first. Please ready with your answers and set a direct message to me. Right? Fine. What is meant by authentication? You have to send message to me, direct message. What is meant by authentication? Authentication. Okay. Let me check the answers. Anand, having access to resources is not authentication.
Sorry, sir. Authorization.
Process of verifying username and password. Good, Arun. It's process of check all the validations for an account. Okay. Process where check the username and password correct or not. Okay. Identifying yourself to the OS. Okay. Access of resources. Srikant, no. Balvantesh, process of verifying username and password. Okay. Madhi, process of verifying username called authentication. Okay. Done. Okay. Process of verification, the username and password. Okay. So the early participants are okay. Arun and Ankam Sanjeev. Arun, Ankam and Sanjeev. Okay. Let me note down, guys. Done. Okay. So what is meant by securable? Securable. What is meant by securable? What is meant by securables in SQL Server? Securables, guys. Okay. Okay, so it's a person, and let me check what resources called securable. Okay, Madhavi, and okay, so what resources is accessing called securable? Okay, Madhavi, what are the resources they are accessing? Okay,
Login.
yes. What are the resources they are accessing? Okay, Arun, and given password to server? No, Panduletish. It is person or user who is going to get required access. No, Ankam. That is called, okay.
Sorry, sir, that is principal.
That is principal, okay, not securable.
Again, I send other message, sir.
Okay. What resources login is accessing? Okay. Chalo, let's check other answers. Anand, resources that are accessible by principal. Okay, fine. Madhavi, resources. What resources login is accessing? What resources login is accessing? Which resources we are able to access? Okay. So guys, principal means who is accessing the resources is a principal. What resources is accessing? Okay. What resources is accessing is called a securable. So in SQL Server, securable is nothing but your database. A login can access the database. In SQL Server, securable is nothing but a table. A login can access a table. In SQL Server, securable is nothing but a stored procedure. A login can access the stored procedure. Okay, so these are all the securables, guys. Users also securables in some scenarios. Users also securables in some scenarios. Users, the same will play principal and securable role during different situations, guys. For login wants to access users. So for login, in this scenario, login is a principal, user is a securable. User wants to access the table. In this scenario, user is a principal, table is a securable, guys. Again, don't confuse. Who is accessing the resources is called a principal. What resources he is accessing is called a securable. Okay, right? Chalo, the winners are Madhavi, Arun, and Bal Venkatesh. Madhavi, Arun, and Bal Venkatesh. Okay. Chalo, let's jump into the topic. Madhavi, Arun. Done. Okay. So, any questions, any doubts in the yesterday's concept in the Windows authentication, SQL authentication? Again, the Windows authentication means Windows level, your account is going to be verified. Once you are successfully verified in the Windows level, guys, what next? Okay, so you should be a member of your SQL server. Then only you are able to log into the SQL server. Okay, so even though you are successfully logged into the Windows machine, that doesn't give you any token to access the SQL server. No, even though you might be a Windows admin in the Windows level, but don't think all Windows people can connect to my SQL server. No, what is the prerequisite, guys? A login should be there in the SQL server. Either it is a Windows login or SQL login. A login should be there in the SQL server, then only you can able to connect to the SQL server, guys. Even though you might be a Windows admin, but it is very important. A login should be there on your name, okay, in SQL Server. Then only you are going to enter inside the SQL Server, guys. Okay, I told you, right? Even Ankam is a CEO. He is able to log into Windows machine, but still he cannot connect to SQL Server. What is the prerequisite? A login should be there for Ankam in the SQL Server. An entry should be there. Then only, okay, this Ankam can connect to my SQL Server. This is Windows authentication. Means first you will log into the Windows machine. Then from there you will open SSMS. Then you will connect to SQL Server instance. Whatever instance you want to connect, you will connect to SQL Server instance. That is Windows authentication. We have one more authentication, that is a SQL authentication or mixed mode authentication. SQL authentication means simply, usually will give SQL authentication access to the users or developers. Okay, so they will just open SSMS in their laptops directly. They will open SSMS in their laptops. Okay, they don't enter inside the Windows machine, guys. Directly they will open client in their laptops. So in the client we have to provide the server name, right? So they will provide this server name in the SSMS. Okay, if they have account in the SQL Server, if they are authorized to connect to the SQL Server, then they will give the username and password. Once SQL Server validates that username and password, that person is able to connect to the SQL Server, guys. Is these 2 points are clear or not? Everyone, guys, please.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, done. Right. Okay, fine. So here, listen carefully, guys. Okay, Control Z. I just want to expand this topic. Listen
Hi,
carefully.
sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, I have one small doubt. In the SQL Server authentication, the laptop machine which user is having, he is using Windows in like Windows, or else it will be there inside the Windows server in that laptop.
No, your laptop will be there in the Windows Server or what?
Yeah, my question is, the
Once you
laptop will
got
be there
the,
in the
why your laptop will be there in
Windows
the
server
Windows Server? Tell me.
or directly normal Windows machine.
You will get your own laptop, sir, once you got the job, right? You will get your
Okay,
own laptop,
okay,
right? In that laptop, IT support team will install SSMS. Okay, once they, not you, you means you are a DBA now, developers, I'm saying. Okay, once developers
okay,
joined in the company, they will get their own laptop, right? The one which you are using now. Okay, so once they got the new laptop from the company, IT support team will install required softwares. In that, if developer has to work for SQL servers, IT support team will install SSMS in their laptops. Then from using that SSMS, from using that client, they're able to connect to the SQL servers, guys. Okay.
oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Right. Okay. Just
Sir,
want to,
is
yes.
SQL authentication is mixed mode authentication, sir?
Yes. You can call this SQL authentication as a mixed mode authentication. There is no separate meaning for mixed mode authentication. Another name of SQL authentication is called mixed mode authentication, guys. Okay, mixed mode authentication. And once you entered into the SQL server, either you are Windows login or SQL login, there is no difference, right? Either you are a Windows login or SQL login, there is no difference. Both are same. If I gave you the access, if I gave you sysadmin access for Windows admin, whatever he can do. If I gave sysadmin access for SQL login, the same things and all the SQL login also can do. The only advantage for Windows login is in the Windows level, he can do some management activities like copying the files, creating the folders, deleting the files and all. That is the only difference. That too in the Windows machine level, not SQL Server level. SQL Server level, either Windows login or SQL login, both are same if we gave the same permissions. Both are same means don't think in that way. For this is Ankam login. This is Divya login, right? Yesterday we discussed this is Divya login. This is Ankam SQL login. This is Windows login. And this is Divya SQL login. If I gave sysadmin to Ankam and Divya, both are same. For Ankam, I gave different access. For Divya, I gave sysadmin. In that case, both are different. Okay, if I gave same permissions to both logins, both are same. Okay, guys, done. So let's try to elaborate this topic. Okay, so in the SQL Server, we'll have databases, right? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Right. So yesterday while discussing this SQL Server security, I gave you one example, shopping mall example, right?
Yes, sir.
Done. Okay. So here, remember one thing. Now, Ankam, this is Ankam, with the key is Ankam, without key is Divya. Okay. So now, if I gave, now Ankam can connect to the SQL server. Okay. Listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully. Now Ankam can connect to the SQL server. Whatever things we did till now, that is only to connect to the SQL server. But don't think Ankam can access all the databases. If I gave sysadmin access to Ankam, yes, he can access all the databases. Okay, listen carefully. If I gave sysadmin access to Ankam, yes, Ankam can access all the databases. No issues, without any issues. He can access, he can connect to all the databases. But I just allowed Ankam into my SQL server. I did not give any access to Ankam. So Ankam cannot access any databases, guys. By default, Ankam will get connect permission. Okay. By default, Ankam will get connect permission to SQL server. Okay. But don't think once Ankam got connect permission to SQL server, he can do whatever he want. No. If he's a sysadmin, he can do whatever he want, guys. Okay. The condition is different for sysadmin. The case is different for sysadmin. If I made Ankam as a sysadmin in the SQL server level, Ankam can connect to all the databases. That is different case. Sysadmin means he can do anything, right? Right. But if I don't give access to sysadmin to Ankam, if I don't give access, sysadmin access to Ankam, then he cannot connect to the databases, guys. He can only connect to the SQL server. He cannot connect to the databases. But I want everyone not direct to you, sir. Subhani, see, lot of people sent answers. Okay, so but I'll take only first 3 correct answers. Okay.
Okay, sir. Actually today I connected to my new
Okay.
laptop, sir. That's why it
No
get
problem.
late, sir.
No problem. Just habituate with the new laptop and all. No issues. Only for the first 3 answers and correct answers. First 3 correct answers are closer to the correct answers. Okay.
Okay, no problem. I just pass the information, please, sir. Just
Okay. Okay.
I want to inform you. That's all.
Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. So don't think if you are entering to the particular shopping mall, don't think you can access all the shops. No. Again, if there is any like gold shops and all there, again there is more security at gold shops. Again, they are going to check you, verify you. Okay, then only they are going to allow you. In the same way, if Ankam can connect to my SQL server, that doesn't mean Ankam can access all the databases. If Ankam is a sysadmin, yes, he can access all the databases. If he's not a sysadmin, he cannot even open any database also. He cannot connect to any database. By default, each login will get a connect permissions, guys. It can only connect to SQL server. If I enter inside the SQL server, don't think if you don't have any permissions, don't think you can access the databases. For accessing the databases, again, you should have extra permissions. Okay, so once I gave access, imagine this is sales database. This is sales database. Okay, on this sales database, I gave access to Ankam. Listen carefully. On this sales database, I gave access to Ankam. Okay, then this is login, right? Right. So let me make it small. Right. Small Ankam will be created inside the database, guys. Small Ankam will be created inside the database. Listen carefully, guys. Ankam login can never enter inside the database. To help Ankam user will be there inside the database. When this user will be created, guys, when you gave access on the database to Ankam, then a user with the Ankam login name will be created in the database. Okay, so Ankam, listen carefully, guys. Logins cannot enter inside the database to read the data, to write the data. On behalf of login, one user will be created when you give the access. That user will help Ankam. that username is also Ankam. You can, if you want, you can give different name, but by default, it will create it with a login name, guys. Is it clear, everyone? It's very simple topic. Logins cannot access the databases directly. If logins wants to access the database, I have to give the access to the databases for the particular logins. Once I give the access, a user will be created on behalf of the login in the database, guys. Is it clear? Any issues, any doubts in this point? Guys, please.
Yes, sir.
I need
Yes,
response.
sir.
Everyone.
Yes, sir. Clear.
So whenever
Clear,
I gave access on any database, a user will be created with the same login name. That user will help to read the data, write the data, okay, from the database. It will help the Ankam login. The user, Ankam user, this is Ankam user and this is Ankam login, guys. The small one is Ankam user and the big one is Ankam login. Means in this case, Ankam is a father or parent. Ankam login is a parent. Ankam user is a child, guys. Okay. And listen carefully, the bond, how the bond is. See here, without this Ankam user, I cannot create Ankam Windows login. Agree?
Yes.
Without this Ankam login, I cannot create Ankam user. Agree?
Yes, sir.
What is this relation, guys? What is this relation?
Parent child.
Grandfather, grandfather,
Grandfather,
father,
Father,
child. Okay.
Right.
For Windows login, it will work like this, guys, for Windows login. But for SQL login, okay, the same will carry forward, guys. The same will be carry forward. Okay. But grandfather won't be there. Why? Because for Windows login, for Windows login, we should have Windows level user in the Windows machine. But for SQL login, no user is required, guys. We can directly create a SQL login. And if I want to give access on this database, same concept, same concept. Again, this is Divya, right? Small Divya will be created inside this database. This small Divya will help this big Divya to get the data from this database. If I gave access to Divya on this database, one more Divya will be created in this database. If I gave access to Ankam on this database, one more Ankam will be created on the particular another database. So how many databases you are giving access, that many users will be created. Each user is limited to that particular database. Is this clear? Any doubts, any issues, please? Simple logic is whenever I'm giving access on any database, okay, a user will be created with the same login name, guys. This user will help that particular login to read the data, to write the data from the database. Is it clear? Any doubts?